Hi everyone, I'm Cam. Welcome back to Kestrel Park Farm. Today I thought I'd bring you back to our first project we started way back in 2006 with some funding that we got from the Land Care Association to fence off our creek. When we first started this project, there was about 12 trees along this stretch of creek line, which is about 500 metres in length. A massive big dam. The stock had full 100% access to the dam, and we used to crop right up into the edges. Anyway, I'll just turn it around and just show you a bit of a look. Here we are, guys. It's the Redfin Dam. Just go along the fence line down there. Anyway, we'll take a walk straight over towards the dam, okay? Go through the gate. When it decides to open. Okay, so like I said, we started this in 2006. Cattle had 100% access to every part of this dam. There was about 12 trees planted, 12 old growth trees along here. We received funding to fence it all off. And it's responded really well, actually, really well. I'm really quite proud of this one. Just walk back down here. So the dam itself's about probably 30 metres wide at its widest point, about 180 metres long, and deepest point is around 4 or 5 metres deep. 2020, the dam nearly dried up, which would have been the first time ever since it was built in 1966 or 67 by my grandfather, Hubert. Like I said, we only had about 12 trees planted, or old growth trees along here, and they were made up mainly of grey box and a couple of red gums. So we'll just walk across the dam bank here, get through our acacias that we got. They should be coming out in flower soon, actually. So it's a beautiful dam. Spend a fair bit of time. We go fishing in here. There's Murray cod. Way back in the day, there used to be reddies in here. That's why it's called the Redfin Dam. We used to have a great time down here. But now there's Murray cod. We come swimming, stand up paddleboarding. We get out in the kayak and the boat and paddle around. It's just a nice place to hang out. So looking down the other way through the creek. There was literally only about 4 trees down that side when we first started in 2006. All these have shot up since. Beautiful red gum over there in the middle. Geez, it must be bloody 300 or 400 years old, I reckon. Probably more. Just looking across to the neighbours' paddocks. So these reeds you got here are also called the common reed, also known as Phragmites. During the spring or late spring, summer and early autumn, we get quite a lot of reed warblers starting to come into here and nest in here. Great habitat for the small bird species, so they can get away from raptors, minor birds, etc. We'll just get through our jungle. Yeah, it's one of my favourite spots to come along here. Just spend an afternoon having a couple of beers. So this particular side of the dam, we weren't able to get a tractor in. So we've sort of had to hand dig in all the plants with various stages of success. But I think we're slowly winning the battle. These are a few we planted years ago. Maybe 15 years old, I suppose. These particular ones, trees here, were planted only about three years ago. We've had bloody good weather here the last few years, so well, rain-wise anyway. So they've really established themselves. We had a small portion of red grass left here, but over time it's been a fair bit of cooch here, but the red grass has managed to grow, and the stipus grass is also coming along nicely. So more Phragmites, offering a great filter for the water that comes down the creek. Although the creek's, the water's pretty murky at the moment because we've had 1.5 inches of rain this week. So there was none of these plants here when I was a kid. So along this section here we planted quite a lot of wattles, a few hakeas, etc. A lot of these wattles I don't know what the species are. There's one that was just planted a couple of years ago. Back in the day, we used to get your regular farm birds, ravens, crows, etc. Over time, we've managed to get back we've seen fairy wrens, pardalotes, honey eaters, sacred kingfishers. I noticed a couple of dollar birds earlier, as well as getting the odd pelican and swan, various types of water birds. Mo, come on. Dogs decide to go next door. Yeah, it's a beautiful spot. It was the most sensible thing we ever did was fencing off this corridor. To be quite honest, the stock used to get in here. It was dangerous to get them out. They used to wreck the creek banks. And over time we've managed to keep the vegetation on the ground, and it's really responded beautifully for it. Anyway, might have to do this in 2 parts. I'll see you shortly.